Hi, welcome to my channel A Spark Within. Today I wanted to talk about cognitive dissonance. Now, first of all, let's start with this. We all have inconsistent thoughts and beliefs. For instance, have you ever said something but you're thinking something completely the opposite? Or have you done something because you're fearful if you don't, others will judge you? Now, what we're experiencing here is cognitive dissonance. Let me take it further. Now, there's been times when, let's say, I really want to go to the gym, but then I talk myself out of it and say, actually, I went for a walk and I did 10,000 steps yesterday, so today I can give it a rest. There's no escaping from it. It's part of being human. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was getting ready for the morning school run, and you know how these are. You are really against the clock. So got my daughter into the car, in her car seat. And then I was about to get in the car as well. I see these two boys walking along, and one of them drops a piece of trash in my neighbor's front driveway. Now, one of the things that we're teaching our daughter is to speak up when you see something wrong. Littering is one of them. So you would have thought I would have then said something to the teenage boy, at least pointed out his error and asked him to pick up the litter. But what I did instead, I turned a blind eye and I got into the car. And then I was feeling guilty because I thought, here I am trying to teach my daughter to speak up for any wrongdoing that you see. Use your voice for good. But then here I am, I saw something that was wrong, but I didn't say anything. And then a couple of minutes later, as I was driving, I justified my own behavior to myself, said, it's okay, you were in a hurry, you had to beat the traffic to drop your daughter to be on time for school. All of this is cognitive dissonance. We, at times, act not in line with our values, and when we don't, we may justify it, or we feel disharmony, or sometimes we say something and we're thinking something completely different. And the thing is, this is normal. It's human behavior. And I want to start with, first of all, it is okay. We are humans. It is fine. But now the trick is, what are we going to do about it? Let's recognize what cognitive dissonance is and then use it as our superpower. So in this video, what I will share is what are the ways of experiencing cognitive dissonance, and then what are the tools to overcome it, and then how do you make it your superpower? Because if we're going to be stuck with cognitive dissonance, let's then use it for good. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Nimisha and welcome to my channel A Spark Within. I am truly obsessed about self-development and being a better version of myself. If you're like me and you enjoy receiving tools with practical implementation so you can lead a deep and meaningful life, then join me on this journey and hit subscribe now. So, this theory of cognitive dissonance was developed by Leon Festinger in 1957. Now, what he said is that human beings strive for internal psychological consistency. And where there is inconsistency, it is cognitive dissonance. And this discomfort within us will cause us to add either new cognition or make us avoid that particular situation completely. Now, there are a couple of ways of where cognitive dissonance occurs and also strategies to overcome them. The first one is we change our behavior so that it is consistent with our thought. Now, Leon Festinger, when he did this, he used smoking as an example. And in this example, it would be the smoker who knows that smoking is bad for them, they will stop smoking to be aligned with their thought that smoking is harmful. Or let's just say healthy eating. We know that eating healthy food is good for us, so then we will then not eat processed foods to be in line with that thinking. The second way is we change one of the dissonant thoughts to then restore consistency. Still sticking with the smoking example, initially said that smoking is harmful and you get lung cancer. But now in this scenario, the person would be saying, actually, yes, I know that smoking is harmful and I can get lung cancer, but the chances of getting lung cancer are slimmer than being hit by a car. The third way is we add another consonant thought, or we rationalize the behavior to diminish the original. So let's just take me not speaking up to the teenager and ignoring it so I could then get my daughter in school on time. That was me justifying my behavior to myself. Or, for instance, the smoking example is the smoker would say, hey, it's okay, everyone else is doing it, so why not? Finally, the other way is we trivialize the inconsistency completely. So we just ignore it. Now, how can you drive meaningful change? Because cognitive dissonance is not necessarily a bad thing. It is part of being human. And I have to say, let's start by accepting that and not being hard on ourselves, that it is okay to experience it. It is what we're going to be doing next. That is what is important. Because cognitive dissonance is a mechanism that actually shines a light on when we are not acting in line with our beliefs or our thoughts, where our actions are misaligned. The way we experience cognitive dissonance is an opportunity for us to learn and grow and to then replace it with a higher thinking. So what are the ways of using this to our advantage? Because many times we're just not aware of this internal conflict that is happening, or we're diminishing it. So one is self-reflection and awareness. And within that, the various techniques you could use. It is being aware of your thoughts, journaling. I find that extremely useful. You could journal on a weekly basis if you find daily too much. Introspection, sitting with your thoughts and understanding where you're feeling the inconsistencies. The other way is challenging your beliefs and values. It is so important to be doing that on a regular basis. And the ways to do that is look at new information, because at times what we're doing is, in order to justify our existing behavior, we're reading the same information and not looking at other perspectives. And that becomes a confirmation bias where you are double downing on that behavior, which may not be even helpful, or that thought. So seek out new information on a regular basis. Be the devil's advocate. Question your own assumptions. Challenge them on a regular basis. Let's not be harsh to ourselves, but it's always good to challenge our own assumptions, because we're always putting a filter on it and coming from our own biases. Whilst it's really important to be looking at when you're having those internal conflict and those inconsistencies, it is also really important to be aware of which beliefs are negative and holding you back. What is a negative belief? Because if thinking about something is making you feel bad because you feel you cannot achieve it, then that is a signal that your thinking needs to change. So you need to make sure that your action does not align with that negative thinking. You need to be changing that thought to support the action that you want, the outcome that you want. In this case, cognitive dissonance is a wonderful thing because it's allowing you to become aware of the psychological barriers that are holding you back. However, if you change your actions to align with that negative belief, then that is a disservice to yourself. So always reflect, identify what are negative beliefs, eliminate those, and replace them with higher positive beliefs. so then your actions are pulled to the higher goals. After this episode, have a moment, reflect on which attitudes and behaviors you would like to change, and remember, we all have a spark within us.